Hey everyone, welcome back to the Casual Code YouTube channel. Today's video I'll be going through the terrain option in Roblox Studio, teaching you how to use it to build an island. Stay tuned and watch the video to the end. Quick notice before we start. This is my personal way of building terrain, which means this isn't the best method for everyone. Before we start up, I'd like you guys to join the Discord server, which is linked below to this video. Join the Roblox group, which is also linked below. Subscribe and like, and let's get into the video. To start building terrain, you want to go into an empty baseplate or your own project. You want to go to Home and find the editor option where it says terrain under. Once you've done this, a tab should open that should look something like this. Once that is done, you can put the tab wherever you want. For me, I'm going to put it inside over here. And you're going to go to region. You can see there is select, move, resize, rotate, copy, paste, delete, fill. These are some really nice options to use once you're building big things. But the tab we're going to be focusing on today is the edit tab right here. Go to this, you can see add, subtract, grow, erode, smooth, flatten, paint, sea level, and replace. Now you want to just zoom out a bit and go wherever you want to build the terrain. So for me, since I'm on an empty base plate, I'm just going to build it over here. To start off, going to add, and you should see either a circle, square, or cylinder. For building islands, I prefer using the circle, but you can also build in squares if you like it to be a bit more boxed. Or cylinders, if that's what you're going for. For now though, we're just going to use the circle. Base size is optional, but I like to use 6. Gives a nice size, pretty good for maps and stuff. Not too big, not too small. Pivot position is the position where the brush is located. You can see there's the bob, which is the bottom. There you see, it's much higher up. If I go down to the ground right here, you can see that the cylinder is much higher up. As my mouse is on the bottom of it. Here, my mouse is in the center of the brush. And here, my mouse is in the top of the brush, so you can really not see it, but it goes under the ground. The best for building is clearly center. You can also use bottom if you want to build some cool open up in the sky builds. Plane lock is if you want to lock it to the actual grid. So here you can lock it to the sides if you want, and it won't be able to go over the sides like that. You can also do manual, so it's gonna lock to a certain place manually, or you can have it off. So I like to have it off. You can have snap to voxels, which are these things on the base plate. So if I put it on, you can see it's like snapping to the voxels when I'm moving it around. I prefer to have this off. And ignore water is for building with water. Okay, so let's just get into this. Auto material is where you can choose the material automatically. Turn it off for now because we're going to build multiple different materials. So you can start off going to sand. This is to get an outline of the map. You can also do it in grass, whichever one you prefer. Now you want to zoom a bit out. You want to have your brush tool ready, and you want to just make a nice triangle. So I'm going something like this. So this is not the best triangle, but this is a very simple starter. So now you want to just hold your mouse down and just move the mouse around a bit. This is to flatten out the triangle. You can also do this later using the flatten tool, but it's just way easier to do this real fast. Add a bit more if you think it's too small, or you can leave it be. Okay, I think this is good for now. Now you want to go up here and you want to let go. Now you can see my brush is on top of the triangle. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build a bit more up here, but in a smaller triangle. So something like this. So now I'm going to fill up the entire build, or the entire small triangle. Go. Okay, so this is our first starter of the island. See, we have a nice hill up going up here. If you want the island to be taller, you can add another one. You should probably make the base a bit bigger though. And you can do that using the region as well. Okay, now let's start doing it. So now we want to go to grow. Choose grass again if that's what you're building it. If you're building in sand, you want to choose sand, or any of the other materials if that's the case. I want to go a bit smaller down, so I'm gonna go down to 4. And you want to look at the terrain and just it's like hold your mouse down, start hovering around like this. It's gonna grow the entire build up and out to the sides as well, so you get a bit more realistic look on it. It's gonna look better, and it's gonna flatten it out in the sides as well, which you want for an island. You want to just go around the entire island like this. Make sure that you've grown all the sides out as well. Keep growing this out and you can get some really nice results, or you can stop whenever you feel like it. So now I think I've grown this out fine. So now I'm gonna grow this top out as well. And if you don't like how it looks, you can always just grow out more of the sides. Okay, I think this is good for now. Also, when you're building, there's a lot of grass in the way, and this might be hard to see where the actual build is. So to turn this off, you want to go up to terrain, and you can see in the properties tab right here, go to the view tab. There's the explore and the properties. So press in the terrain in the workspace and go down to properties, and the one that's in the top, decorations, you want to just turn that off. Now the grass isn't in the way and you can see more of the actual build. This might help visualize it a bit. So now I'm just gonna keep going on like this. I think this side needs a bit more growth, but so I'm just gonna make it out, and make sure you make it kinda unperfect. You don't want the build to be perfect on all sides and all equal. You want it a bit mess, so you can see I have a small hole down here and it's like different sides. There's kind of like a top right here and not over here. This adds really nice visualization to the build and makes it more realistic to look at. Okay, so now I think I'm done actually building out the main island. Now we're gonna start going to the different materials and make this stand out. Now I'm gonna go and turn on decorations again, and I'm gonna start adding some rocks. So just click on the rock material. You can have the same brush size, you can make it smaller if you want, and just start painting some rock on top of this. You can also add some on the bottom as well. So yeah, don't get too much, but get some nice rocks so it's visible. If you hold it down, it's gonna be like these kind of bigger ones, and if you just tap on your mouse, it's gonna make these small rock paths. So whichever one you prefer. So make sure you get it around all the island and not just one side. If you want just one side, that's up to you. But I like to get it all around the island. Once you think you've got enough stone right here, you can move on to mud. Either ground or mud. I prefer mud. Then you go here and you just start painting some mud as well. You can hit some other things than the stone. So get some grass and get some different stuff. Here we go. This. Get some on the first main island thing as well. Get too much. Okay, I think this is good for now. If your mountain is really big, you can also add some ice to the top to give this like a tall mountain visualization effect. So go to snow or ice, whichever one you prefer, and just paint a bit to the top. Nothing over the top really, but just a small bit up here. There we go, like this. It's personal, whatever you do. This is how I like to do it myself. Some people might disagree. Okay, now you can go back to the bottom here, and you can go to grow again, and this time choose sand. Because now for the island, we're gonna get a nice sand outline. Just start painting your sand like this. And if you already have done sand for the outline, then you can start filling it up in the middle. So there might be some small scrubby places which I'm not gonna fix right now. You could also go back and fix that later. So this is not the best terrain build, but this is still a cool build. Okay, if you feel the line is too small, line of sand is too small, you can do one more time around the island. But make sure it doesn't go out too much, and make sure that it doesn't make these like this, where you know it goes up like this, but make sure it actually goes to the ground as well. That's just really nice. I feel like I'm gonna just go to the end over here where I started, and then I'm done with this side. Okay, that's the island for now. So now you've got the main part of the island, and you've got some sand as well. Now you can add some water as well. So press on the sea level, and you get this big box. And this big box is where the water is gonna be. So if I go outside right now, and I press create, then you can see right here, there's gonna be a bunch of water right here. Of course, we don't want this water to be right here, so we're gonna press evaporate. That's gonna clean out the water. You want to make it as small as possible, so it doesn't have any unnecessary big water pods under the ground, because that's just gonna make the game more laggy. Nothing crazy, but it all adds up. Now you can see this is the outline where the water is gonna be. So don't make sure it doesn't go up like this, because then the water is gonna be on the island. So make sure it reaches like a nice middle of where we built the sand. And as you can see, I have some small holes here as well somewhere, and you can also fix that by growing it up, but I'm actually just gonna go a bit further down. There we go. Now you can press create, and you can see it collapses the water right here, which we actually don't want. So we're gonna go a bit further down here. This looks to be a good level. Some of the sand disappears, but it's still a nice water level. There we go, you basically got an island now. But now for the decoration part, you can add some trees. So if you have a tree model, you can do that, but I'm just for now gonna search realistic tree. Find a good tree that you like. Make sure there's no scripts in it, as it could be a virus. And also don't do this too much, since this is free model. But because this is just a showcase video, I'm just gonna take this tree for example right now. Then you want to just paint this tree around the island a bit. So add a few ones. Gonna add like maybe 3-4 trees on the top as well. Make sure they go in the ground. Go. Yeah. Okay. Now you can scale the trees a bit around. So I'm gonna make this tree bigger. This one a bit smaller. This one bigger. Bigger. Smaller, and you can like rotate them around a bit. That's a better realistic look to them. You can also add some bushes if you want. So let's search bushes. There you go, we got a bush right here. You can add a bush like this. Scale it up a bit. Go, some bushes around the island. Then you can start building your houses and whatnot back on the island. So this is basically the main part of the island, and this is just the normal island that you have for now. This is basically the end result. Nice terrain island, and you can see there's a lot of bugs like this. If you want to fix this without growing it up too much, use the paint section. Go to sand and just sand paint like this. Do this around the island to make sure that pictures or grass that goes to the sand. Go just like this. Simple, easy fix. Okay, I'm gonna show you what the island looks like. The old textures. These are the 2022 textures. These are very personal if you like them or not. So if you go back to terrain, I believe. That's my bad. If you go to material service, it's right under lighting. You scroll all the way to the bottom. There's this material pack section where it says use 2022 materials, and you want to turn this off. Then you want to let it load, and these are the old materials. So as you can see, for me actually, it looks more realistic. I'm not sure if I like the ice. I think with white it looks better for these builds, but it has this nice touch. But the grass and the mud definitely looks more realistic for me. So if you want some cool textures, but you still want to use the 2022, that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go up to this material generator. And if you don't have the material generator, then you want to go to file. You want to go to beta features right here. should open this tab up, and in here there's a bunch of these ones, and if you can find it, then it should be right here. Material generator enables the AI material generator, which allows you to generate any PBR material you can imagine using text input. So you want to turn this on, and you might have to restart your studio. Once you've done that, you should have this tab up here. If you don't have it, you can join the Discord and show me a picture. We can try find a fix for you. But you should have it normally. This is the AI PBR texture generator. So what a PBR texture is, it's a custom texture, and usually with PBR the builds look more realistic. So for now, I think this mod texture right here, I'm not really a fan of this mod texture. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to in the material generator, I'm going to type high quality mod material, or actually mod texture, and I'm going to press generate. The more input you give this material generator, the better the textures are usually going to be. So if you just type high quality planks, it might look very different than if you say high quality planks with dents and cracks and moss, so on. Okay, it might take some time to load, but now the AI generator has found 4 cool custom PBR textures for us. So what we can do is we can take it apart, preview the textures first. So I'm just going to put the part right here and turn off cast shadow. So this is the part right here. Let's try press on the texture, and it's going to show the texture on here. So as you can see, this is the PBR texture. This is the Roblox 2022. So this looks a lot more basic, and this one has more details, and it's a bit more darker. I don't know if you want this one or which one. I think this is more like a desert theme. Same with this one. So I think I'm gonna go for this one up here. Now you can choose the studs per tile. This is basically how many studs you want. So if you zoom out, you see this is very weird. So you want to have it about the middle and then a bit more. So around like this. Pattern, you can choose organic, which you can see changes the flow of the texture. Whichever side you want, you can put on, and it really depends on the texture whether or not you should have the organic on. Name, you can call it whatever you want, so I'm gonna call it new mod. The base material, you want to choose the mod like this. You can apply, save variant. There we go. Now going back to the material service, we're gonna find mod over here. Here it is, and you should see a little get down thing right here. So you have all these different options, and after we've made our own texture, we can see it right here, new mod. So put it on, let it load, and there we go. That's the new texture. And this may not look the best, but with everything combined, rock, wood, trees, whatever you want, sand, it can really make the build go to another level. So just for one more showcase, I'm gonna do it with the sand now as well. We're gonna search high quality and just change this to sand texture. While this thing is loading, I'm going to go to the material service. Well, actually, I'm going to the material service. I'm gonna... Oh, no, sorry. Go to the terrain, the workspace. Go to material colors. Go to grass, and you want to just turn this a bit down. Darker grass usually has a better realistic look. Also go to lighting and technology. Use future. And you can, if you want, you can add a nice little background. So go to the skyboxes, and the one I like the most in here, this plugin, which is by the way paid for, is a clouded sky. So I'm going to apply this. There you go. And now you can see the game already has a better realistic look than before. Now for the sand, you can see this is the original color right here. And we can now again check the new colors. So this is the mud. So let's see. I have some very weird sand right here. It's more great. We have this sand texture. We have this one. So I think I'm gonna go for the first one. Organic. I think organic looks better on this one. Zoom in a bit. For base material, I'm going to choose sand. And name, I'm gonna call it new sand. Save and apply variant. Go. Now let's go back to the sand right here. Let's go to the material servers. Let's find sand. Sand it right here. Let's press the new sand and let's look at the texture. So there you see, this is the new PBR texture, and this gets away rid of the original Roblox sand look. And really, the more you change these and the more realistic this one gets, the better the build is gonna end up looking. So for one last example, I'm gonna do the rock texture as well. So let's wait for it to load. Let's go. Let's have a look. There's this rock texture, which is not gonna fit. There's this one, which is okay. There's this one, which is actually pretty cool. And then there's this one. So I think I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna make it organic. But actually, no, I'm not gonna make it organic. I'm gonna zoom a bit in and call it new rock or stone if you want. Then I'm gonna find the rock. Save and apply like before. Go back to the rock. So I'm gonna just find something over here like this. Go to the material service. Go to rock. Over here. New rock and save and apply. So as you can see, this is the new rock, and already this build is looking much cleaner. You can see there's some mistakes I've done over here. Can very quickly fix this. Go. As you can see, there's still mistakes everywhere, but this build is starting to look pretty good. And the more details you add, the better it's gonna end up looking. So yeah, this was a very quick terrain guide. If you guys would like a part 2 or a more in-depth guide of how the actual terrain feature looks, or how you can build it to, or use it to build a cool map, then just let me know in the comments, or join the Discord server and let me know in there. That's all from me now, and see you guys later. Bye bye.